The winner of this year's Miss South Africa pageant will be the first to wear the brand new crown dubbed Mowana. The crown, whose name translates to the Tree of Life, has been designed by Nungu Diamonds. This Sunday, 12 finalists from 5 provinces will compete to wear it in Pretoria's SunBet arena at Times Square. Winning the competition means becoming a South African ambassador and a role model to young people everywhere. Joining me now is the Chief Executive Officer of the Miss South Africa organisation, Stephanie Weil. Stephanie, great to speak to you this evening. Just 2 days to go before the big day. I can only imagine there must be a hive of activity as all the preparations get finalised. Can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect?
Oh, thanks so much for having me, firstly. It's crazy, and I'm so happy that I got to do this, even though it's so much going on outside as the rehearsals are fastly underway in the arena. I think it's going to be an incredible show. We've got the most incredible host being Bonang Mateba. You've got the best cast being the ladies, and of course some great talent that are going to be represented. We've got Brendan Tumble, we've got Robot Boy, we've got Siki Joanne, and it's going to be a really fun-filled evening with really great musical items. And I think more importantly, we're going to meet our new Miss South Africa. And that's going to be chosen by a really esteemed panel of judges. SunBet, who's joined us, Joanne Strauss, Devi Sankri-Govender, Leandi Durant, and of course the reigning Miss Universe, Arbini Nola from New York.
We are unfortunately having to say goodbye to Ndavi Nokeri as we welcome in the new Miss South Africa. Let's just reflect on her reign for a moment. What do you think characterized her time as Miss SA?
I think Ndavi has led such a beautiful reign, firstly, and it's really been all around empowering others through education. And you've really seen that highlighted through the real work she's done on the ground. You know, she's done really incredible things in different places, different foundations that she's worked with, really trying to bridge the gap in the education space, and I'm really proud of her for that. And obviously her humility throughout this, the person that she is, and the love that we have for her will, you know, forever be remembered. And we can't wait to see how the next steps for her turn out, and we hope to be there right by her side.
And as she hands over that baton, no doubt the judges will be looking for some specific qualities in the new reigning Miss SA. I know every year Miss SA has such a completely different personality, but what are those traits, the golden threads that bind all those incredible Miss South Africas through history to each other?
I think it's, you know, we talk about it and we laugh about it a lot. There's just an X factor. There's something about that winner. You can feel her when you walk in the room. She's authentic. She wants to be Miss South Africa, and she wants to make a difference in this country. She's relatable. She's so many things. And she really upholds the pillars of what this brand is. And for us, that's the most important. And I feel that any one of these women could win the title, and I can't wait to see who we have next to, you know, wear that beautiful Mowana crown as the first Miss South Africa in that Mowana crown. I think it's going to be a new age and a new era for Miss South Africa, and I'm really excited to see the outcome on Sunday.
When I was growing up, and I'm going to give 2 decades, so I'm not giving my age away too much. The 80s and the 90s were two things. The age of Barbie, which is suddenly back, and the age of beauty pageants. Everyone was glued to their screens for beauty pageants around the world. And I wanted to pick your brain about the confluence of those two things at the moment. We've seen the Barbie movie having such an incredible influence on people for reasons that some people struggle really to articulate. But does it take us back to that golden era where we really do go back to appreciating beauty and style in a classical way, without it being, you know, sort of, you know, that PC way of going, oh, you know, women are far more than beauty pageants. We've done all that. We know that now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I haven't seen Barbie, but from what I've heard, it's really a kind of, you know, it's more about the feministic approach to beauty. And I think that beauty pageants are just not about this kind of classical beauty. And I think we've been moving away from that. I think we've been really like trailblazing trend on that. And for me, I think it's great. I think what it's done for popularity and that kind of thing and that beautiful doll. But I think we need to look far beyond that. And I think that's what these women do. They're not just dolls. They have a voice, and they deserve to be heard. And I think that's the major thing. And that's why I think pageantry has been going the way that it hasn't for so long, to really kind of push those boundaries. And I think that the platform allows these young women's voices to really be heard. And I think they can make a difference in the country and in the world in the future. And I hope to look back in, 30, 40 years time and see these incredible young women taking over. I think that would be, my job done.
And such an incredible milestone for the Miss SA organization in pushing those diversity boundaries even further this year with the inclusion of candidates who are married, who are mothers. What do you think that's done for the competition this year?
I think it's all about realizing that it doesn't take a certain type. That was the last rule that existed from back when we talking about in the previous question, from the 80s and 90s. You couldn't be a mother. You couldn't be married, because this was kind of this like, I am a woman and I can only be in a pageant if I'm like almost pure. And I think that, we've changed so much over the decades as women and as a culture and as a society that we need to kind of embrace all of that we are. And it's not a taboo thing anymore. And people deserve to be married, have children, and can still do so many things, because women can be whatever they want to be. And I think that's the point of it. And I think that's created a real excitement around what the future can hold for whoever you are, wherever you come from, and whatever your circumstances are, because they don't define you. There are circumstances that you have a choice to recreate and define what you want to in life.
Well, thank you so much. The excitement is palpable. We're all looking forward to Sunday evening's big showcase and the crowning of the new Miss SA. That was Stephanie Weil, CEO of the Miss SA organization.